tell us what you guys see.
It was not so much a specific. I saw kind of a sequence of things. I saw a person, a man, with some targets set up, some stump targets, and like in a row, like 3 or 4 of them in a row. And he was throwing a throwing knife, and he
dagger.
would go like down the row, bullseye each one, right? Really impressive, quick thing, right? But he was pretty close to the targets. It wasn't super far away.
Okay.
But it was very precise, accurate, impressive. But then the scene shifted, and it was like a large field with like forest in the background. And it was like I was standing at one end of the field, and at the other end of the field, the very far other end of the field, very far away, was a target. And it was like the shift was away from this other throwing knives and close target to like this other thing is the real target. And it was like the target was so far it almost seemed as though it was too far.
Discern, couldn't even see
but it. My impression was that it was to be shot,
through arrows
with an arrow. And there was a moment where looking at it suddenly like my vision zoomed in, and suddenly I didn't get any closer to the target, but the target was suddenly. Have you ever seen in a movie? There's this effect that they do where they zoom the camera and they move the camera at the same time, so it looks like you're getting closer to it, but the whole scenery is like changing. I don't know how to explain it.
There's a name for that.
There's a name for it. It's like they're zooming. It's like they're zooming out with the camera as the whole camera physically moves forward. So the item that you're looking at, like it seems like the world warps around it.
Okay.
It was like that moment where this target was rushing toward me, like zooming in my vision on the target. And suddenly it was very close, even though it wasn't. It was just suddenly the target was closer. And my impression of the sequence of visions, I guess, was that a shifting away from this flashy multiple target to this other singular focus, one thing that
required great effort, great
attention, but still there was a grace given to zoom in and to say, yes, this is the target.
Well, that's a perfect picture of what we're talking about. Yes, the hope of glory. Amen. Christ's life. That's all. So, okay. That's definitely a confirmation there. So.
I also had kind of a quick succession of 2 different visions together. It's right immediately after you asked us to have a vision. Well, before I explain it, I forget the name of what this is, but you know that outside game that may be in like a playground that has that ball attached.
Tetherball?
Yeah, tetherball, that's what it is. You know what I'm talking about, Sid?
No.
Basically, it's like this ball, sort of like a volleyball, that is attached on one end to a string that goes to the top of a pole attached to the ground. Basically,
you can beat it.
Goes around and someone else hits it, so whoever gets tied up first. So just to have that clear. Well, I mean, the first thing I saw was a human face. I couldn't really distinguish if it was a male or female face. I could tell it was sort of long almost, and it immediately shifted into like a tower. It was kind of a weird transition, but the face just had that transformation to like a stronghold, almost like a tower. And then immediately after that, I saw basically that same kind of tetherball thing, but instead it was a chain that was attached to this huge ball that looked like a wrecking ball almost. And in the picture, when I first saw it, it was tied up with, or it was tied around the pole where it was like not, it couldn't be used. And in the vision, it began to be released almost. It was unraveled to where it could reach.
Then tower?
Yeah, basically, like it was enabled to bring down strongholds almost, because instantly, when it had been unraveled, it began to swing around, breaking down
Oh, wow.
like stone structures almost that were around it.
The ball and chain were attached to the tower that was from
No,
the face?
it was attached to a separate pole, and that tower was almost an example of the other towers that were around this wrecking ball that it began to break down.
Is that amazing?
And instantly you may have more understanding on it, but I had almost a revelation that it was like the enabling or the release of almost the weapon to bring down strongholds
Yes.
and mindsets.
Yes.
Because it previously had been tied up and not being used.
Yeah.
Because when it's wrapped around the pole, it can't do anything, but it was
Yeah.
unraveled to where it could swing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what I saw.
The pole is like a standard.
A standard.
Yeah.
I was thinking of the face that became a tower in the Notre
Yeah, it's
Dame.
represent human mind, basically.
Yeah.
This tower, that was what was burned and fell, right? It was the
A
tower.
spire.
Yeah. Look at the very clear depiction of this in 10th chapter, talking about the positive grace, what it can actually. In
10th chapter. Of
10th
what?
chapter 1 to 6.
Of what book?
Oh, I'm sorry, 2 Corinthians. Sorry, good point. Read.
There's a lot of 10 chapters.
Yeah,
in
there's
here.
a lot of 10th chapter.
2 Corinthians 10.
Yeah.
By the meekness and gentleness of Christ, I appeal to you. I, Paul, who am timid when face to face to you, but bold when away. I beg you that when I come, I may not have to be as bold as I expect to be towards some people who think that we live by the standards of this world. For though we live in the world, we do not wage war as the world does. The weapons we fight with are not the weapons of the world. On the contrary, they have divine power to demolish strongholds. We demolish arguments and every pretension that sets itself up against the knowledge of God. We take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ. And we will be ready to punish every act of disobedience once your obedience is complete.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah.